I think this has been a big media thing in the lead up to this game, and pretty much in the lead up to it every year since 2017. But the mental block that Georgia has facing Alabama, like how real do you think that is, given the history of how this thing has gone throughout Kirby Smart's tenure?
I mean, I think it's a legitimate question, no matter who the coach was. It felt like Georgia players were legitimately scared, like going into the cocktail party. Like they would just play their worst game. They would make mistakes they didn't make in other games. It was just so strange.
Rick would have to have the whole team run on the field after a touchdown.
Exactly. Had to pull out all the stops. Be like, guys, why are we afraid of them? Like, let's do something.
The weird Grambling helmets with the black pants.
Man, awful. Those awful helmets. Man. Would have at least liked to see an all black, like black helmet, black jersey, black helmet. But let's not get into that right now. No, especially not. Bama week. But I think just with what Kirby Smart has built at Georgia, and you just know the mentality of this team every year, like look at this list of games. Like if you just think about how Georgia came out like ready to play in all of these games, it's hard to say they have some sort of mental block. It's like if you think about that 2017 national championship, like Alabama benched their quarterback at halftime, but the Super Bowl winning quarterback, by the way, at halftime because we were dominating so much. Like you go back to 2018, like it's hard for people to remember because that team got blown out by Clemson in the national title game. But going into the SEC championship, we had never seen an Alabama team like Tua and those receivers. It was the most like dynamic, like they were being talked about like maybe the greatest team in SEC history. And Georgia just comes out, punches them in the mouth. Like, what were they up? They go up 35-21 or is it 35-14?
28-14.
20 because they didn't score 35, obviously. Yeah. 28-14 early second half, I want to say.
About
but
that.
Yeah, like the offense, like they just came ready to play. LeCount had the pick, J.R. Reed had the pick. Like you were getting, that team didn't get like any sacks at all that year, and it was just, I think they may have been last in the SEC in sacks that year, and they were just all over Tua in that game, just creating pressure. It's almost like they'd waited all year to design something to beat Tua. And then you hurt Tua and he leaves the game, and then Hurts comes in and it's the repeat of the year before. But the fact that they just come out ready to play, even 2020 with Stetson Bennett, like that's one of the greatest, that's maybe the best Alabama team in 2020. They were almost invincible. And even with a bad Stetson Bennett in 2020, like that game was a game into the fourth quarter. Like Georgia was were they up late in the third quarter, or they down 3 late in the third quarter? They're winning at halftime, right?
They were winning at halftime, I believe, but it got away from them really quickly. I just remember it's been a while since I've gone back and like watched that game, but I just remember that game evaporating before my eyes. And, it felt like a matter of seconds.
Waddle had that like 90-yard touchdown. Did that take the lead, or that like blew it open? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it did blow it open. But, like, that's kind of what I'm saying, though. Like, you are, like, yes, I do get, like, Georgia comes out pretty much every single one of these games and has a great start, except for the one last year, of course.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my point, is that, yes, they come and they have this great start, and they're like, yeah, like, you know, we here. And then Alabama just friggin' just reappears, reemerges, takes the game over, dominates the second half every single time almost. And I think there's something to be said about, like, I mean, this is a long time ago, and it's pre-national championship, so I don't want to harp on it too much. But it's like it's still crazy to me that like the reverse of the Tua Jalen Hurts swap happened in back-to-back years.
Yeah,
that would not happen in any other rivalry. Stupid. Being up at halftime and then your quarterback throws like 4 picks in the second half, that wouldn't happen in any other rivalry. The Keeler Ringo pick 6 wouldn't happen in any other rivalry. Like the stuff
if we just let them get a field goal before halftime, do they not bench Jalen Hurts? Maybe
these surges, maybe. These surges that happen during these games is just, it's so crazy to me. And then last year we almost saw the exact reverse of it happen, except Alabama ended up hanging on to win thanks to that crazy Ryan Williams play and getting the pick at the end. So I really think, I don't think you can sit here and say there's no, extra, maybe not a mental block, but like I think there is something extra that they're thinking about going into this game. Just knowing the history of the rivalry, knowing that that's where Kirby Smart, made his name at as a coach largely. I just think either consciously or not, I think Georgia goes into this game feeling different every single year and not really in a good way. But that's not me saying I think they're going to lose.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we can't know the exact mentality that these guys have and that they go into the game with, but the result tends to be the same. The last year's game was just so different than the previous ones, and that's partly one of the reasons why. I mean, maybe it's just easy that what's Georgia's most important game? Alabama. Like, just if you didn't think anything, you didn't use your brain for 2 seconds, that would probably be your answer. But when you just dig in even deeper, it's just because of what you're saying and because it's Kalen DeBoer, it's like it's one thing to lose to Nick Saban. Everyone is losing to Nick Saban. This is what I tried to say the whole time. Like, oh, does Georgia have an Alabama problem? It's like, dude, does the rest of college football have an Alabama problem? Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh, Dabo did.
Like, they're beating everybody for this decade. But no, that's true. Dabo got him twice. They did beat Dabo twice as well.
They did beat Dabo twice.
But yeah, so obviously there's been teams that have beaten him. Tennessee's beaten him now twice in the last 2 of the last 3 times they've played him.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Now, if Kalen DeBoer beats Kirby in his first 2 games, it does start to feel like, okay, is there something about Alabama, especially in a year where all of these games we're listing here on the screen, none of them were in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
Obviously, 5 of them are in Atlanta, Georgia, but that is still a neutral site, people. It doesn't matter where the game is being played. Maybe Georgia has 60-40 in some of those crowds. I don't know. But Alabama fans obviously travel. But yeah, this is the first one that's in Athens, and Alabama is by far the lowest ranked, probably the lowest ranked either of these teams are in any of these matchups, right? No one's been ranked 17. I would think the lowest Georgia's been ranked for one of these games is
probably 2020.
Like number 8 or something. Yeah, but yeah, probably 2020.
No, they were probably top. I think they were top 3 in 2022 because they hadn't even lost yet. This is their first loss.
Yeah, that was their first loss. So yeah, you're probably right. And Stetson had the one good game, I think, versus Auburn at that point. So people were feeling them. They had the game day segments about him and everything.
Yeah, that was myth was starting, and then it kind of stopped, and then it started again the next.
And it was like, oof, maybe this guy wasn't ready for the big stage. That's what, like, I'll never hate on anyone who's like, or I will question people who are like, I believed in Stetson the whole time. It's like, well, you shouldn't have believed in him in 2020. But then he proved us all wrong. You
shouldn't have believed in him.
But yeah, so this is by far the lowest they've been ranked in any of these games, and it's in Athens. It just feels like if you don't win this one, I don't know. Maybe I'll believe you on Sunday if we're talking about another loss, or Saturday night if we're coming on here.
I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. Is like this is the one variation of this matchup that hasn't happened yet. They've literally played every other. They've played in the playoff. They've played in the SEC championship. Like they've played in Bryant-Denny. They have not played in Stanford yet somehow. All of these games have happened. And that's really something that I never really I didn't think about that at all really until this year, until people started saying like, oh, this is the first year Kirby's ever gotten Bama at home. That's kind of crazy actually. And I guess it just goes to show how good these teams have been, that they're always just meeting each other in the postseason. But yeah, I think that's a huge deal. I really do. Georgia getting this, it's never been seen before. Georgia obviously has not lost at home since 2019. I mean, they're going to need every last drop of juice that the crowd can give them because, like, I mean, we saw last year how when Georgia was making mistakes early, how it was just getting compounded by the fact that they were in that hostile of an environment, and then sure enough that they go down 28-0 just in the blink of an eye. So that's the kind of thing that Georgia needs to be benefiting from this time around in this game.